Okay, here's my hot take, so don't come at me. But for the most part, motherhood is deeply unsatisfying.
What's up, people? Welcome back to my channel. So in today's video, we'll be watching mothers sharing their experience on how motherhood experience is not a bed of roses, and I want you to pay attention carefully. Personally, I'm not a mom. I think that's something selfless to do, and I feel like if you should choose to bring a child into this world, as chaotic as it is, it's something that should take a lot of planning and a lot of consideration. Anyways, before I give you my full commentary, let's watch those clips. I'll be back with my commentary. Don't forget to hit the subscription button, the notification bell, and like, share if you like this kind of videos. Come on, show your support. Thank you.
Okay, here's my hot take, so don't come at me. But for the most part, motherhood is deeply unsatisfying. And we don't talk about it enough. And I'm not saying that because I dislike my role as mother. And yes, I know I chose to be a mom. I love being a mom. And I love my kids dearly. But 90% of my role as mother is not satisfying. It is the nitty gritty. It is getting kids to clean up after messes. It is reminding kids to wash their hands. It is convincing kids to eat the meals I make. I mean, it is a lot of work. So much work. And in and of itself, that part is not satisfying. I do not go to bed most nights feeling satisfied in my role as mother. Far from it. If anything, I go to bed with intrusive thoughts, worrying about their future, feeling like I didn't do a good enough job. And I wouldn't say in any sense that makes me a bad mom. If anything, that makes me a great mom. But it's not a satisfying feeling. And I'm saying this out loud because I don't think we talk about it enough. And for a long time, I felt like I was doing it wrong because I saw other people, other moms on social media, beaming and glowing about the milestones, talking about how satisfying this role is, and wondering if I was doing it wrong. And the truth is, we just don't talk about the unsatisfying parts. And I think we should.
Do you know what my biggest life's regret is? Having kids. It is not for the reason that you might think. The reason I regret having kids is because I feel like I had them for selfish reasons. I wanted kids. I wanted to know what it was like to be a mother. And I love every second of it, even the bad moments. I love being a mom. I adore my kids. They're my everything. And because of that, I regret bringing them into this world. I hate that I can't protect them from everything. I hate that one day they're going to experience heartache. They're going to know what it's like to be betrayed. They're going to know what it's like to feel pain. And there's nothing I can do about it. I hate that they're going to grow old. I sit up at night so many times with the worst anxiety and think, how are my kids going to leave this earth? Is it going to be painful? Am I going to be here to see it? Are they going to have trauma? And I can't protect them from it. I can't stop them from dying one day. I can't protect them every second of their life. I can't stop bullying from happening. Every awful thing that can happen to my kids races through my head on a daily basis. And it eats away at me. It drives me insane. I talk to my therapist about this all the time, and I know that they're all things that are out of control and they're life lessons, but if I could go back in time, as much as I hate to think that I wouldn't have them in my life, now that I've had them in my life, I would still sacrifice the pain of not ever having the chance to know these awesome people if it would mean saving them from all the ugly that there is out there. I know the world is beautiful and life can be beautiful and life can be what you make of it, but there's some things that are out of our control too. And I wish that I can protect them from it. And I just know that realistically I can't, and I hate that. I don't want my kids to grow old and die. I don't want them to suffer at any point in their life, but even more in their death. I don't want them to have to watch their loved ones go. If I knew what I know now about life, I wouldn't have had kids.
I'm gonna be honest. A lot of moms regret their kids. A lot of moms hate their kids. A lot of moms don't like their kids. A lot of moms are being moms because they have to. If majority of these moms had the choice to give their kids away with no repercussions, they would. And I don't blame them, because I probably would too. You know what? I know I would. You want to know why? Because it's not fair for one person to sit around and be the caregiver, the financial provider, the emotional support, everything for 1, 2, 3, 4 children, while the other parent just up and do whatever they want to do whenever they want to do it with no repercussions. Yeah, you can put them on child support, don't mean they're going to pay it. Yeah, you can send the cops to them, don't mean they're not going to duck and dodge them. What's taking their license going to do? Baby, they still going to drive that car. It's not fair. And they wonder why mothers be they self and these kids. And I don't want to hear, oh, that's why you need to get married before you have children. That's why y'all need to stop giving y'all wombs to everybody. Bye bye. Shut the fuck up. Because a half of you females that, yo, you shouldn't be giving your womb, protect your womb. You done thought you was in love with this man. You done gave this man your womb, had his baby, then he start flipping on your as soon as that baby come out your stomach. That ring ain't gonna stop no man from cheating. That ring ain't gonna stop no man from being a deadbeat. Only thing is, you got a ring on your finger, a man in your house, and you still a single mom. Shut the up. It's too many people out here telling these women, oh, you gotta hold yourself accountable. Oh, you gotta hold yourself accountable. What the do you think the mother, the bitch? You think she's not holding herself accountable? She's holding herself accountable every day she wake up to take care of that child. She's holding herself accountable every day she got to get up and make some food for that child when she not even hungry. She holding herself accountable every day she got to put her shit to the side just to make sure that kid got what they need. Stop it. That last time I checked, that's enough accountability for me. Stop only holding these women accountable. The woman need the man to have the baby in the first place. Hold these men accountable. It's a lot of moms out here regretting becoming mothers because of how their pregnancy went and because they have to do it on their own out here. Stop putting more dirt on their fucking shoulders when they deal with dirt every fucking day taking care of these kids that these dads abandoned. Because at the end of the day, they already got it in the back of their heads. When these kids grow up, now they're going to be hating the mama because the dad decided to not be in their life. What type of shit is that?
I waited to have a child until I was 43. I didn't want kids because I came from an extremely toxic family environment, and I never wanted to hurt a child in the way that I was hurt. Over my life, though, I started to get treated very badly by my family for not having children. Comments were made about my health and sexual past in reference to my fertility by family members and in our community. I come from a very small community where everyone is in everyone's business. 3 years ago, I was attacked by a stranger. He chased me in a car for over 40 miles at speeds of 114 miles per hour and cornered me in a gas station in the middle of nowhere. It was the most traumatizing and horrific experience of my life. No one helped me. I reached out to family and friends and no one helped me. Then one day, a social media friend asked me if I was okay, and he offered the support I was so desperately needing. I clung to him immediately. I needed an anchor and safety because I felt so scared to exist in this world. He immediately moved in with me and started controlling my life. He moved me out of my house and into his home. We were married and pregnant within a month. I was going through PTSD and anxiety, and then I added morning sickness and changing hormones to it. When I told my family that I was married to a complete stranger and pregnant, they all reacted with relief and happiness. I was called and congratulated over and over. I didn't want to tell anyone that he was already being cruel and cheating on me because they were all so happy for me and kept telling me that I finally have happiness. My husband ended up openly cheating on me throughout my pregnancy, and was very verbally and emotionally abusive. When I was 3 months pregnant, I decided that this wasn't for me, and while he was at work, I packed up my things and moved home. It was a horrible time for me, though. I was so sick with morning sickness that I lost 25 pounds and I was fainting. Driving was scary and difficult because I would get dizzy at any time. My body ached all the time. I had pains in my legs, back, and stomach through my whole pregnancy, along with a rash on my torso that would last my entire pregnancy. I hated everything about my pregnancy. I feared even meeting my baby because I was so horrified about my feelings toward pregnancy and my body. I wanted my original body and life back. My husband would come in and out of my life during this time. He would act nice and then start getting abusive and then ghost me. This was the routine of our whole relationship, but as my due date neared, he kept saying he would come. He didn't, though, until right on my induction date. He stayed for the birth, which was a C-section after 3 days in labor. He signed the birth certificate and then left. He has seen our son twice in his whole life since his birth. Once at our son's first Christmas and once on his first Father's Day. I handle everything. Everything. I hate it all. This is the exact life I didn't want and avoided, but I still ended up here. I want to ask my family if this is all the happiness they ever had, because I have had so much happiness in my life that didn't involve a child or man. I have had the most amazing adventures and the best feelings ever before I ever had a child. I remember the old me and the things I did, the carefree, adventurous nature I had, and I want to go back so badly. My body is different, my mind is different, my heart is definitely different. I love my child and I am so grateful for this experience, but I honestly believe that I wasn't supposed to be a mother. This isn't happiness for me. I want to be happy again, so I think of my life before and I miss me. I know that's selfish, but I do. I know now that I have a child how worthy of love I always was, how worthy of space and time I was all by myself. I hope that I can provide a good, stable, and positive environment for my child. I hope I am hiding this anger and frustration at the reality of motherhood really well, because I never want to hurt my child. I have a son. This scares me too. This world is made for him, and he will never be asked what his purpose is in this world. Will he end up like his father? A replica of all the no-good deadbeats that are around us? Will I release something on the world that will wreak havoc? Like my mother-in-law? I think I will always regret becoming a parent. I knew how it would be all along, and I
became a mum at 21, and I personally do have some regrets about becoming a mum at a young age. Obviously, it goes without saying, I love my son. I wouldn't change our situation. Becoming a young mum has provided me so much insight into how to lead a better life, a more fulfilled life. In terms of regrets, I regret so much not taking my education seriously. I have about 5 GCSEs. I dropped out of my A-levels after the first year, so I didn't complete them. I bounced around from like college course to full-time work. I then kind of stuck at marketing for a few years, and that's kind of the longest I've ever stuck at anything. I am now in a position where for me to return back to work, which I can do, but I suppose coming off the back of maternity leave and weighing up the option of being a stay-at-home mum for the foreseeable, or working full-time. As it stands right now, I don't see any benefit in pushing in a career that has a ceiling. There is part of me that resents not getting a degree and starting in a career that has long-term progression and longevity in salary, benefits, etc, etc. So that's kind of where I'm at with that sort of regret. Secondly, and I suppose this is probably the one that's been the most impactful on me as it stands right now, not having understood my relationships with my family better and not putting the work in to facilitate healthier and more understanding relationships with my family, because having a child, like anyone will know, will put a strain on any relationship. And it will be no secret to you guys that I now live 300 miles away from any relative, and I have absolutely no regrets about moving. I love where we live, but in saying that, it has been the most challenging experience of my life raising a child in isolation. That is not something I would ever recommend to anybody. So there's that. Obviously my partner is a hands-on dad, but as you guys know, he works full-time. You know, it's a Saturday as we speak right now, and he's working at home. Anyone in finance will know things don't stop because it's the weekend, unfortunately. But that's how the bills are paid. I suppose there's a lot on my mind at the moment, and I'm just weighing up next steps and what feels right. If there's one thing becoming a parent at a young age it's taught me, it's that it's f***ing difficult and nobody's coming to save you. So you've got to learn some serious coping skills pretty damn quickly.
Now that I have been posting the Regretful Parent series for quite a while, I have noticed some commonalities across what women are saying in the messages and in the comments. And I made a list of the 15 most common things that I'm hearing. And these not only apply to regretful parents, they apply to all parents, especially mothers. And so I wanted to share them here so that if you are thinking about becoming a mother, these are 15 things that you need to consider and think about. And the first common theme that I have seen, and I've noticed this before I started doing this series, I've seen this in every parent that I've ever known, and that is guilt. Every parent, regretful or not, deals with guilt on a daily basis for the rest of their life. You have guilt when you do the wrong things. You have guilt when you know you're doing the right things. You have guilt when you prioritize yourself. You feel guilt when you prioritize your kids. But it's just lifelong guilt. If you have kids, guilt, just accept it's gonna happen. The second common theme that I'm seeing is the fact that labor and delivery is not talked about, and how dangerous it is, and how traumatic it can be, and how labor and delivery can alter you emotionally, mentally, and physically for a long time. It is a dangerous process, and it is not discussed nearly enough. The third common theme is postpartum depression. Many women experience it, and it can last for a long time, and it can affect your experience as a new mother drastically. Again, it is not being talked about enough in relation to the impact it has on the life of a new mother. Fourth common theme, there is no village. It is said in every message. It is mentioned in so many comments. Women who thought they had a village, women who were told they had a village explicitly from their family and friends who said, we will help you, we will support you, please have the baby. And the village goes poof the moment that baby arrives. The fifth common thing that I'm seeing throughout these messages and comments is autism, ADHD, and neurodivergence being present in both the children as well as in the parents, and often the parents not finding out until well after their children are born. Number 6 is people invalidating experiences that are not their own. So I read a message from a woman and people are quick to rush into the comments to say, well, that's not my experience. I love my children and I would do anything for them. And that's not how it is for me. So if you become a parent and you want to talk about your honest lived experience as a parent, you can expect to be invalidated by many people. Number 7 is regret about things other than your children. And this has been touched on in a few of my videos. Regretting things like lost time, regretting things like lost experiences, things you weren't able to do because you had children, regretting the fact that you can't raise your children the way you want to raise them because you don't have the resources you need, because you don't have the village. So regret is a huge theme, even if it's not directly pointed at having children. Number 8, not realizing how much your life will change and how you will probably lose your identity, at least for a little while. This is such a common theme in these messages and in these comments. Your life changes forever in ways that you cannot imagine and in every way possible. And yes, many mothers lose their identity entirely because they have to give themselves over entirely to a new little human being. So if you choose to go into parenthood, be aware that that will likely happen. Number 9, it doesn't end at 18. Parenthood is for life. Motherhood is for life. Once they turn 18, you still worry, you still have regret, you still have guilt, you're still taking care of them, you're still thinking about them, you still have anxiety about them. It does not end at 18. You are in it for the rest of your life. Number 10 is children of regretful parents. I have heard from many of them, and I will be doing a series about children from regretful parents. And children often know, they can tell, and they know when they get older, when they're adults, they realize that their parents regretted having them. So that is something you have to think about. If you're not 100% in on parenthood and you think you may feel regret, just know that your children will probably be able to feel that too. Number 11 is women being in the role of caregivers for their entire lives. They talk about how they have taken care of their boyfriends who become their husbands, still taking care of them. Then they take care of their children. Then they take care of their aging parents. Then it's back to taking care of their aging husband. And they spend their entire lives being caregivers. And to top it off, they are not appreciated. No one cares for them. Which brings me to number 12, which is mentioned in so many of these messages, and that is the fact that you feel invisible as a mother. Your work is not recognized or appreciated by your children, by your husband or partner, or by the world. You feel invisible and lonely much of the time. Number 13 is loneliness. Many women describe themselves as being lonely despite having a family, despite having a partner, despite having kids. They feel alone and they feel lonely. Number 14 is judgment from other people, especially other mothers. You will deal with the judgment of people and how you choose to raise your children, how you choose to parent. You'll deal with that judgment on every level throughout your existence as a parent. And number 15, moms are the default parent who get blamed for everything, and dads get praised for the bare minimum.
Wow. So these beautiful ladies have said a lot. I feel like me just saying adding my own would be probably just expanding it. I feel you could do a lot of thinking with this. And for those expecting mothers, for those young ladies who are still figuring out if this is a part of the decision they have to take, listen to the advice of these women and think about it carefully if you want it for yourself. And I don't blame mothers who want to opt out. First of all, look at how the world is. Personally, my fear is I'm not financially, I'm not stable. Emotionally, I feel like I don't know if I have so much love to give. Okay, I do. I know I do have so much love to give, but then again, I'm scared of how the world is. I feel like the most selfish thing to do right now, and I'm not speaking for everyone, please. This is my personal feeling, right? I feel like I'll be very selfish to bring a child to this world, right? Personally, I feel like adopting will be the next thing on my own plate, right? Because I feel like there are a lot of children in this world that deserve love. But should you be in this journey of parenting and you find yourself confused, you find yourself not knowing what you're doing, just understand that feeling is normal. A lot of mothers go through this. It's not an easy task. Like this last speaker spoke and also collaborated with the previous speaker. You will always question yourself. You always feel guilty. It's a lifetime hustle for you, right? And you just have to realize that you're not the only one on that path. And again, yes, it's not fair that most of the time it's one parent, which are the women, the primary nurturers, are giving most expectations and less grace. But it is what it is. This is the world we live in now, okay? So yeah, I would like to hear you guys' thoughts below. Drop it in the comment section. Don't forget to subscribe, like, and share this video, because I feel like there are women out there that need it. Of course, it's bad enough that even out there, motherhood experience is not being shared as authentic as it is now. So with this video, you see some authentic words, and you clearly see that these are women that love their children. And a lot of the things that were spoken here are based on love, and it was quite wholesome. I felt like bringing it here. So thanks for watching this video up to this moment. Have a great day. See you in my next video. Bye.